What's going on, people? It's your boy Jake Nelson, also known as Jake Star Man, and today I'll be reviewing the Dygma Raise keyboard. It's been a while. I've wanted to do this for ages. Just so you know, I haven't been sponsored to do this or paid to do this or anything like that. This is just something that I wanted to do. Basically give you guys some feedback on the Dygma Raise keyboard. I've been using it now for probably just over 2 months, I believe it is. And in all honesty, it's probably, in fact, it is the best keyboard that I've used. It's comfortable, and I'm going to explain the reasons why. So, what makes the Dygma Raise keyboard so different? What is this keyboard? Well, actually, it's a ergonomic mechanical keyboard. Why is it ergonomic? Well, it splits in half. Which is great. I mean, it makes things more comfortable. There's not many keyboards out there. There is quite a few that do split in half, but they don't attach back together. I think this is probably one of the first that I've actually seen that you can attach it together and then unattach it afterwards, which is great. Some people prefer it to be attached, some people don't. But that's one thing that I really love about this keyboard, and it makes it different. You know, it's very different. What other key features are there to this keyboard? Well, they have hot-swappable keys. What does that mean? Basically, if you look closely, the switches, well, hot-swappable switches, not keys, people, sorry, switches. The switches inside, which I'm using MX Cherry Red, you're actually able to take those out and replace them with whatever switches you want. There's actually a list of switches on the Dygma Raise site, or the Dygma site, that basically tells you the switches that you can use on this keyboard. There is quite a few, so it's worth looking into that. It's not compatible with all switches, but it's compatible with probably the more popular switches out there on the market, which is great. It comes with a tool that you can obviously take these out. The tool has been readapted, so the tool that I have to take out my switches is totally different to the one that you'll receive when you order yours. This is because Dygma have made significant changes to the keyboard that I currently have and what comes with it. So basically they've just made things a lot more robust for you guys, and just working better as well. So that's a good thing from Dygma. So the keyboard in general, it splits in half. A lot of people, well, when I first ever bought this as well, a lot of people's question is, how do you get used to typing with something like this? And in all honesty, it's not as hard as it looks. You can get used to it fairly quickly. It probably took me about 2 weeks to get used to typing on a split keyboard. You just have to make sure you're using the right keys with the right hand and stuff like that, but you get used to it. There's websites out there that can help you touch type as well correctly, so they're also good to look into before maybe buying this keyboard. Additionally, what other key features does the Dygma Raise have? Well, it has 8 thumb buttons, so it has 4 on this side and it also has 4 on this side, and that in itself is actually quite useful and incredible. So I'll tell you why. For me, example, when I'm working, I tend to want different layouts for these, and the reason for that is quite simple. I use them for different things. So this one here, so on my left hand, I use my thumb for space, so I do a space with this one. Backspace is this one here. I also have shift on both sides. That's just in case obviously I need to shift on this side or the other side. It just makes it easier for myself. I have enter down here, so all I have to do is push enter. I don't have to move my little finger over to hit it. I just push it with my thumb, which I find easier. And I also have delete here. The reason why I have delete here is for email uses only. So basically, if I need to delete a whole thing, I usually use it for my emails. When I'm going through emails I don't need, I just press delete, it's faster. Additionally, on this side over here, I have control, and that's for it just makes it easier for me to control paste and control V, so copy and paste basically. And also I have caps lock. Instead of me pushing caps lock over here, I use caps lock quite a lot of work, so it just helps to have it there. So what you're actually able to do with this keyboard is fully modify any key on this keyboard, which is great as well. You can have different layers. I believe there's quite a few layers that you can have, maybe up to 5 different layers, or 10, something like that. There is software for the keyboard currently, but that software is going to change. If I do get the updated version, I will run you through it, but I'm not going to show you the old version that I currently have. It was quite hard to use, but Dygma have put in a lot of work to make sure that they find something that's more user friendly, and that's come from different feedback from backers, and just in general they wanted to update it anyway, to something that's more up to date. So that's a cool feature about this as well. The palm rests, they actually come off, so you're able to take the palm rest off if you don't want it. One thing that I don't dislike it, but it's quite big. This area quite here is quite big. I mean, in terms of what I use it for, I actually never used to use palm rests or anything like that on previous keyboards, just because it takes up a lot of space. But because this keyboard's quite small anyway, there's no need to actually take these off. But one thing that I always suggested was, if Dygma decide that they want to make another keyboard in the future, it might be nice to either be able to remove this whole area, so you can put it back on somehow. Can you imagine, it would only have the keys here, which would be quite nice, I personally think, but I still love it the way it is. I'm actually quite surprised that I do. It's comfortable, and also these pads have actually changed, because there's some issues with these ones that I currently have. So again, that's something that you backers will not get. Another thing to note, so here is the Hubble. Let's see if you can see it. Here's the Hubble. Oh, I just disconnected it. But basically, that's like the brain of the whole keyboard, which is great. An issue I have, I'm just going to move this to the side, is the length that this stretches out, and this is as far as it goes. For some people, I personally, just so you know, it is far enough. I don't actually have it that far, but I like these cables to have a little bit of extra slack in them, just in case I do want to move them further apart. The reason for this is, if you pull this too far, the cables here bend slightly. That's been fixed on the new one, but you know, pulling these cables from side to side can always make more of an issue in the future, which could cause a problem. So they actually do sell cables that are slightly longer than these ones, and they might be worth investing in. It's something I didn't realize at the time, but I probably will buy longer cables for mine. Additionally, another cool feature for the Dygma Rays, and this is something that I personally love outside of using this for work, is the fact that I'm able to remove fully one side of the keyboard. Now, this is great for me. I like to game, so this is how I usually game. You usually have, as most of the gamers know, your full keyboard. You turn it to the side or you turn it inwards, whatever way you feel comfortable using it, and it creates a bit of space. It makes it a bit more comfortable. But in this case, as I don't have the other side of the keyboard, there's a lot more space for me to use my mouse, and it's actually closer to my body, which makes it easier to use as well. It's not so far away, which is great, and I love it. Another additional feature that I also like to add on is when this is connected, I actually move. So if I'm streaming, if you're a streamer, I actually set up these keys as like shortcuts for streaming, and I just move it onto the side, and anytime I need to switch screen or anything like that, I just push a button, it's done, which I really love also. So yeah, overall the keyboard is excellent. It's outstanding. I enjoy using it. It's comfortable. Is there anything I really don't like about it? No, not really. In fact, it's definitely the best keyboard that I've used. I will not be using any other keyboard other than this keyboard. Um, it's great. I mean, look at it. It's literally a work of art. It's outstanding. It really is. So yeah, I think. Is there anything else I wanted to cover? I don't think there was. But yeah, it has lights, LED lights running around the side. It's kind of hard to see. See if I can change the lighting. So yeah, just some of the lighting, and the lighting's been changed as well slightly, as there was some issues with it. But like I said, the backers will get the updated version of the keyboard, not this version, and it will be much more updated than the one I have currently. Just fixing, there's only small little nibbles with this, just so you know. It's not stuff that's major or crazy that needed to be done. Just small things to make sure that, like I said, the keyboard was more robust and it's more finished. You know, they're really trying to compete with the market out there. They don't want to give you guys something that you're not going to be happy with in like 3 to 4 years time. You know, they're really trying to be ahead of the game, and make something that's different. Just to also mention again, as for the layers, I did mention that I have many different layers. The light here is quite hard for you guys to see, but it's actually currently yellow. When I switch it over to blue, so you've just seen the outline and stuff, and this will turn blue as well. That's my gaming layout, so my buttons have all changed again, and that's something that I love also. But yeah, this is the Dygma Raise keyboard. If you're interested in something like this, if you head over to www.dygma.com, I'll put the link in the description below. You can find out more information about it. Additionally, they have a newsletter on there. I would personally sign up to the newsletter if you're interested. They give you updates roughly every month, but they do it a lot more recent because we're near the final dispatch for all the backers. You're still able to pre-order this, so if you want to pre-order it, you're probably better off doing it sooner rather than later. You get an additional travel case with it. Once obviously the pre-orders and stuff are done, you won't be getting that travel case, and believe me, the travel case is really nice. I'll show you quickly what mine looks like, but again, this has been updated and it doesn't look this way anymore. I believe the inside is slightly different to my one, but it holds the same amount of stuff. So this is the inside. There's my keycap puller. I lost the switch puller, like I said, it's a little hook, the switch puller, but the updated version of this has both on each side, so it has the keycap puller on one side and it has the switch puller on the other side, which makes it a lot harder to lose also. These are test switches, just so you can, you know, take out the switches that are in there, test these ones and see which switches you like. But yeah, that's the travel case. So if that's something you're interested in, please head over to Dygma. Like I said, I haven't been sponsored or anything to do this. I just thought I'd do it, just because, you know, it's good for everyone to know what I think about the keyboard. If there's anything else you'd like to know, just leave a comment down below, and I can get back to you guys on that. But yeah, this is the Dygma Raise keyboard. Anything you want to know, let me know. Additionally, make sure you hit that like button. And yeah, if there's any updates, maybe I'll bring them to you guys next. Take care. Bye.